No governance in Rivers State in the last 6 years. Peter Side, welcome to the news, and please subscribe to our channel. Dr. Dakuku Peter Side, immediate past Director General of a Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, and governorship candidate of the All Progressive Congress APC in the 2015 elections. In this interview with select journalists, makes his opinion known on issues of governance by Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State. Daniel Abia brings the excerpt. Governor Wike has consistently said Rivers State Governor is and will continue to remain a PDP state in the light of a party's sterling performance. Is there any chance for your party, the APC, to stop PDP in 2023? Rivers State is not a PDP state. It is a false narrative championed by the government of the Governor Nyesom Wike. All the discerning persons understand what happened. In 2015, there was practically no election in the state. Wike and PDP, backed by federal forces and a resident electoral commissioner that was more than the People Democratic Party, than PDP wrote results at the expense of people's blood. Wike and his party benefited from rivers of blood. Unfortunately, we are bedevilled by internal crisis orchestrated by Wike and his party in 2019, so we were unable to present candidates. Technically speaking, the People Democratic Party PDP has not won any free and fair competitive election in 8 years. Having not won any election, and now they are faced with the reality of APC presenting candidates and running under the new Electoral Act that reasonably provides level playing field. They know their days in Rivers State Government House are numbered. Nobody have ever mismanaged the state as Wike has done, and there are consequences for it. So, the attempt to use the media to create impression that Rivers State is a PDP state falls flat on its face. The recent election has shown that party affiliation is not the most important factor in determining who wins an election. APC is more than determined to take over the state and embark on the tedious work of rebuilding what Wike has destroyed. Our people have been totally dehumanized. Nobody has ever treated Rivers people the way Wike has treated us in the past 6 years. I am confident APC will put its house in order and give Rivers people a new lease of life. As far as opposition politics is concerned, millions of Nigerians of different shades of party affiliation see Governor Wike as a courageous leader who speaks truth to power. What is your take on this? He replied, Wike is the exact opposite of the robe you want to dress him with. He is self-centered, timid, and not exposed. He sincerely believes primitive accumulation of wealth can make up for lack of exposure and timidity. He displays gravitas to cover up the problem of complex he lives with. The deceptive outward look of a strong man is purely public show. Wike lacks courage, has no democratic credential, and lacks morals. If you have followed his politics, you will notice he does not engage. He doesn't have moral courage to speak truth to power because he is guilty of everything that has to do with bad leadership. He is nepotistic, self-centered, does not believe in transparency, and has not treated workers fairly. What moral spine does he have to speak truth to power? The issue of Electoral Act still resonates, and there is this fear that President Muhammadu Buhari may not likely sign the Electoral Act as amended. Governor Wike has severally expressed such fears. What is your opinion on this? He replied, I know the President Buhari is a firm believer in free and fair elections. All those who are related with him will tell you he has no interest whatsoever in influencing the choice of Nigerians. To that extent, I believe he will sign the Electoral Act as amended. Peradventure he does not assent to it. He must have cogent reasons not to. Wike, as I said earlier, has no moral right whatsoever to talk about free and fair elections as he does not believe in it. He has serially benefited from manipulating the electoral process. There appears to be a disagreement between the NAS and the progressive governors over the issue of the red primaries. What is your take on this? He replied, there is no fundamental disagreement. The progressive governors are saying allow the parties decide how they want to conduct their internal affairs, while the leadership of National Assembly is saying we can determine the mode of primaries and we have decided for direct primaries. Both arguments have its merit and demerit, depending on what is important to you and your perspective. What is happening is that personal interests have descended into the arena of lawmaking. The legislatures are fighting for their political life, and the governors in turn are also fighting for their relevance. So, it is not about the interests of Nigerians, nor is it for the deepening of democracy. My prayer is that this matter is sorted out earlier, so we know how to prepare for the 2023 elections. I foresee that the 2023 election will be consequential for this country. The governor just presented his 2022 budget to the House. How would you assess the 483 billion naira budget? He replied, it is true that Governor Wike presented a budget of approximately 484 billion naira to the Rivers State House of Assembly for passage. At about the same period, the Akwa Ibom State of House Assembly passed a budget of 587 billion naira, while Lagos State is budgeting a whopping of 1.4 trillion naira, all for 2022. You can see the retrogression in Rivers State. As of 2015, the last time the APC was governing Rivers State, our budget was about 385 billion naira, while that of Lagos State was 490 billion naira. Lagos was an understandable 20% higher than Rivers in its physical plans. Fast forward 7 years later, the same Lagos is planning to spend about 200% more than Rivers State compared to 2015. The difference between Lagos State and Rivers State physical plans have increased by no less 1,000%. If this is not saddening enough, let us consider our neighbors, Akwa Ibom State, which budgeted up to 462 billion naira for 2015 and have moved upward to 587 billion naira for 2022, over 100% more than the 2015 budget, and increasing their difference to Rivers in 2015 by 200%. Beyond the fact that the economy of Rivers State is not growing, is that nobody has seen details of the proposed budget. The state budget begins and ends in Wike's pocket. We have never seen this level of opaqueness before. I understand from a state legislature that Wike and his government is planning to spend over 80 billion naira on miscellaneous items, which is another subhead for politics. Rivers people are watching him. On this note, we have come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come your way next time, enjoy the rest of your day.